The questions that we got from our friends, like what will happen with FSBOs. Again, that's going to be a negotiation, and can you imagine two people who don't very often do the transaction trying to get through to a point that, first of all, that people are happy and that there's no one thinking they should sue afterwards. I think there's I don't know. I think that FSBO still will be working with buyer's agent. I think, even now when people have their home listed as a FSBO, oftentimes a buyer agent comes in and negotiates their payment through the FSBO. Will listing agents do both? They might, and they already do that, right? Sometimes people walk in an open house, write an offer with the listing agent. So that could continue to happen. Again, that one of the things that Michelle and I are grateful that we don't have to do it, because like if I have a listing, somebody comes in and wants to write an offer, I can give that to Michelle. Her and I don't talk about it. She is negotiating for them. I'm negotiating for the seller. And if you think Michelle and I want to agree on those things, like when we're working on the same one transaction, separate sides, you don't know us very well. We both want to win for our clients. So sure, that's going to continue. Listing agents will do both. And there's countries where listing agents, they just have one listing agent and they do this whole transaction. But again, how does the buyer feel like they're getting the best representation if they're just working with the listing agent? But also, how does the seller feel like they're getting the best representation if your listing agent's working with a buyer to like try to get the transaction to go through? Will buyers just go to open houses? That kind of leads into the last question. Sure, they might, but are they going to get? It has the old CPA in me. Also, if you get down to the numbers, if a buyer thinks like I'm going to do this without paying for a buyer's agent, are you maybe getting the least amount of money? Paying the least amount of money, because like a good agent is being able to negotiate things down for you, maybe, or hopefully negotiate where you're not paying as much maybe as you had the highest amount. In this market that can be different, but then they can get you the house. Two things, I guess, like if the buyer's agent thought I'll just go to open houses, like, do you know how much better of an offer you're gonna have to write in a competitive market? Not necessarily. Do you know that that the listing agent is going to really want your offer to win? No, because like if you think of the buying agent, like I'm working trying to get the best offer in to win. Because if you think you go on open house, maybe two people are writing an offer, maybe yours isn't good enough. They don't care. They're not going to tell you. There's just a lot of murkiness there. And so the other thing is, let's say it's not as competitive time as right now. Will a buyer, let's say the roof needs repair, the buyer didn't have a good inspector, they might be spending a lot more money if they didn't use a buying agent to get out the relationships, the excellent contractors they have. Or maybe they'll even be able to negotiate a better price just up front. Every real estate market isn't like this one, and so there's different times, but I think in either case, the buyer is better off working with an agent who knows the market, who is up to date on the top, educational things, who understands what contracts are getting accepted right now, things like that. Somebody asked us, are we nervous? And Michelle even asked me that. I'm not that nervous. I'm pretty good with change, kind of rolling with it. But the other reasons I'm not nervous is because I know that what does it take to be a good buying agent? It takes understanding of your market. Michelle and I work. Whoa, lights are out. Michelle and I work on our knowledge of the market 5 days a week. We watch a show every morning that brings us up to the market. We're watching our local stats. I'm also not afraid because Michelle and I take the time to develop the relationships with other agents in our area. So we have an ability to, work well with other agents, with selling agents. I'm not afraid because I feel like our trademarks, are excellent communication, knowledge of market, extraordinary marketing. Well, the two of the three of those for sure lead to being excellent buyers agents.